This is a Madagascar vanilla bean syrup. Let's make it. All right guys, today we are going to show you how to make vanilla bean syrup with Madagascar vanilla beans. The vanilla beans can be omitted for like wild vanilla bean powder or for extract, but we are going to show you guys how to use the Madagascar vanilla beans. All right, let's get into it. So first things first, you are just going to need some water, sugar, and your vanilla. So first we are going to use 1 cup of water and 1 part sugar. So I'm going to use 1 part sugar, but you could use 2 part sugars. If you use 1 part sugar like this, it's going to last for about 3 weeks. But if you double it and do 2 part sugar, then it's going to last like a couple weeks longer. Let's hop over here. We are going to add 1 cup of sugar. All right, the heaping thing of sugar. Over here, and add our 1 cup of water. All right, so now let's just heat the water. You don't want to do like a rolling boil or anything like that. So basically our main goal here is we just want to heat this up and dissolve all of this sugar into the water. All right, so while our sugar water is heating up, we are going to open the vanilla bean. I'm so excited for this, man. You can smell the vanilla through here. A friend of mine knows a guy who grows vanilla beans in Madagascar and got these, and I'm so excited to use them. So we're just gonna open this up. Just gonna pull one of our beans out. Ooh, it smells so good. This is the first time I've ever done this, so then let's kind of like split it open here. Oh yeah, look at all that caviar. You can see all that stuff in there. That's what we're gonna scrape out here with our little spoon. So also our water is starting to heat up here. We're just gonna, this is kind of where you want it to be, is like not like a rolling boil, but just like a, just trying to get the water to dissolve, or the sugar to dissolve into the water. So now you could turn the heat off. And so basically you don't want to throw the actual pod like in there while it is heating up, because it's going to release some kind of like bitter compounds. So what we're going to do now is take it off the burner and let it cool down a bit. Not necessarily cold, but maybe just like lukewarm or like, you know, easy to touch. So yeah, you could just use like a spoon or whatever you have on hand, probably even like a knife. And what we want to do is just scrape out all of this caviar. Just like that. That's what we want here. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's some good stuff. All right, cool. So that's a good amount right there. So this is cooled down to, you can touch it. So we're just gonna put this in there, stir it up. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the actual vanilla bean itself and we're gonna cut it up into a few pieces, maybe like 1 inch long. These you just put right in the water. Because as you store this in the fridge, you just let the vanilla bean like sit in there and it'll probably get stronger within like the next few days. Maybe let's get our little like fork, maybe stir it up a bit. So if you wanted this to last like much longer, you could even take like a couple tablespoons of like alcohol, and that will make the shelf life a lot longer. But I'm gonna use this up pretty quick, I know I will. So just using the 1 cup of sugar and to the 1 part water is good enough for me. I know I'll drink this up in the next couple weeks. There we go, it's nice and mixed up. Have our vanilla bean in there. So now what you could do is you could get like a bottle, like an empty bottle with like a topper on it. But I'm just gonna throw it in this mason jar right here. There we go. Nice, dude. You can see the little caviars all floating around in there. My goodness, smells so good. Now let's try to make a few different drinks with this. Okay, the first drink up is a coffee drink. We're just gonna be making a fantastic vanilla bean latte. So I'm using espresso because I just roasted up some espresso beans, but you can also use a strong cup of mushroom coffee or a strong cup of any coffee. So I'm gonna make it a double. Okay, so let's make the base. First, let's go in with the vanilla syrup we just made. I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon here. Strain out the vanilla bean, pop that back in there. Oh yeah. Ah, smells so good. Okay. Now for the milk, I will say this is a new discovery for me this year. I have started using Lactate. No, I am not lactose intolerant, but I have realized that lactose-free milk actually has a sweeter flavor, and it goes really good with lattes. So grab your Lactate, or if you're plant-based, I've really been enjoying pistachio milk, macadamia nut milk, all those are really great options. So we're just gonna go in with about a cup here. And then this is a super secret ingredient. Salt. You're just gonna go in with a couple cracks of salt. Why? Salt is just a flavor enhancer. Why do people cook with salt? The same reason. It just makes it a more, gives it a nice texture, gives it a nice flavor. Okay, we're just gonna go in with our espresso here. Then what we want to do is aerate this and give it a nice texture here. So I'm going to have my friend Sam come over. She's from Malaysia, where teh tarik is a big thing, which is pulled tea. And the reason that they pull the tea is it makes it nice and frothy. So let's see. Oh yeah. Even just a couple pulls like that are like good. Giving it a nice frothy head there.
Okay, one last pull.
One last pull. Boom. And she is a beaut. Oh yeah. Now we're just gonna go in with some ice cubes. Here we go. This is the world's best vanilla latte. Oh yeah. Yo, that's so good. Not too sweet. Definitely get that vanilla flavor. And just the longer those beans steep in there, the more that vanilla flavor is gonna come out. You can even see the vanilla caviar just sitting at the top of the cup there.
Rate it.
This is one of the best vanilla lattes I have ever had. I don't think I've actually ever had a vanilla latte with real vanilla beans like this, so wow. I can't say 10 out of 10, but I would give this like a 9.5 out of 10. This is delicious. All right, on to our next one. All right, next up, we have the world's greatest cinnamon matcha latte, vanilla. Okay, so let's go in with about 3/4, fill our cup with milk of choice. And we're gonna throw this on the stove to heat it up. Bring it to just under a boil, to like pretty hot, but not boiling. So we're just gonna let that heat up a bit. All right, so our water is simmering here. We're just gonna go in to the cup here. Beautiful, smells good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our ceremonial grade matcha from Uji, Japan. Beautiful. Sifter if you wanna be super strict about it. And your girl loves a strong matcha.
Why do we sift?
Just to get some of those clumps out. All right, now we just add in some lukewarm water. Not too much, not too little. We got this bowl when we were in Uji, Japan, so it's quite special bowl. And you just want to whisk it so you can hear that noise there. You want to get it all nice and frothy. I'm definitely like a froth girl. You need a good froth. Get the sides. Oh yeah, she's gonna be strong. Okay, so this is a great way to like froth your milk if you do not have a friend like Sam. So we're gonna put our milk in here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually put in another crack of salt. We're gonna put in a tablespoon of our vanilla here. Ooh. All right. This is like a hot matcha, so to warm it up a little more, we're just gonna add a little sprinkle of cinnamon vanilla. Okay, so like I say, if you don't have a friend like Sam here, something you can do to froth and mix it all together is take something like a French press and you just mixes it all up and it makes it super frothy. This is kind of like a little hack. See all those bubbles in there? Beautiful. We'll just pour that back in there, nice and foamy. Oh yeah. Let it foam on top. Beautiful. Then we're gonna go in with our matcha. Whoa. All right, let's give it our shot. Oh my goodness. This is one of the best matcha lattes I have ever had. Oh my gosh.
What makes it really good?
I think like when you heat the milk up on the stove like that, it makes it like a little bit sweeter. And then I think this is the first matcha latte I've ever had that uses real vanilla beans in the syrup like we just did. Adding a pinch of salt like that brings out the flavor and the aroma. And then of course you need a froth. If you're making a latte, I'm definitely like a texture person, so frothing it up like that is really good. All right, number 3, I don't think you guys are gonna see this one coming. All right, so my mom just went to Boston, Massachusetts, and she got me this cup where like the Boston Tea Party thing happened. So we're going traditional with this, and we're gonna be making up some of our English breakfast black tea. So just a traditional black tea steeper. These are the best tea steepers in the world. By the way, we're just gonna go in with half of a tablespoon of English breakfast. All right, so we have our 200-degree water here going in. I'm gonna fill it about 3/4 of the way. Hit our timer. We're gonna steep this bad boy for about 2.5 minutes. All right, 2.5 minutes later, let's remove our tea leaves. Okay, so like I said, we're just going like traditional like this. So typically with your English breakfast, you would just get cold milk. It's kind of convenient because English breakfast is steeped at such a hot temperature. So if you just add a little cold milk, it's gonna cool it down and be ready to drink. And then typically what you would do is just add white table sugar. Like that's like the traditional English breakfast that you might have in like England or whatever. What?
That's funny.
Okay. And then we're gonna be a little creative here and we are going to add our vanilla simple syrup. All right. So what you could do is you could froth this up and be fancy with it, but like I said, we're just kind of doing a traditional English breakfast tea with like a little milk. So let's give her a shot. It's super good. It's super good, but I think we should try to froth it to see if that tastes better. Sam, you want to do the honors? All right, let's try it. English breakfast with a froth. I think everything is better with a froth. I do. It's delicious. Definitely try out this simple syrup and let me know what kind of drinks you make with it. Cheers.